my favorite vendors, exhibits, booths, all of the above has to be InitialView. It's right next to us. It is beautiful over here, and I have the founders with me. Terry and Gloria, thank you so much for joining us and for setting up, I have to say, almost like an Instagrammable background.
We got a great designer, Julie. She did a great job on it, and it's always fun to set that up. So.
And I have to say, it reflects what InitialView really does and speaks to the product overall, right? And I'm guessing that was intentional.
Yeah, we wanted to make a space that was good for organic conversations, and that is what InitialView is all about getting at the authentic voice of students and enabling them to provide that to admissions officers so they can make a good decision about who would be a good fit for the community.
I love that you use the word authentic, because I feel like that is the most important thing beyond all of the bullet points and the talking points that you think people want to hear.
That's right.
When really what they want is that authentic version of you.
For sure.
And how do you think InitialView is able to help open up students to offer that?
Well, I would say the first thing we do is we do interviews with students, right? And we spend a lot of time hiring people who in the past have been a part of the admissions process. So we hire lots of former admissions officers to come in and to do this really great conversation with a student. And it's really great because a lot of students, they'll be nervous and they know it's part of the admissions process, but our admissions officers who we hire, like, they know how to put them at ease and they know how to pull out of a student, like, what's important, what do admission officers care about. And so it becomes a piece of the process that really makes a difference for the student. Like, it's admission officers, they might be reviewing these interviews and they like the student. So, like, I can imagine the student in my campus. It becomes something that's a really fun, it's much more than just a number, it's like, it's exciting to see that. And even for the students, it becomes something that is kind of life-changing for them in the sense that it might be their first interview and they remember it forever, and the parents kind of become a part, they're excited to see their kids kind of going through this process. So it's a milestone that's kind of endearing in the best way, and I think that's something that is good for the application process.
And I guess I'm imagining while you're talking just that, when you go on a job interview or that first date when you're like, this is not really who I am, this is a way to kind of, get to that third date to that, no, this is the actual, not the representative me, but this is actually who I really am and will be on campus.
Yeah, and it reflects what's going to happen on campus, because you're going to meet a classmate for the first time, your roommate for the first time, a professor, you want to go to office hours. And there's definitely a little bit of nervousness in the beginning, but because of the follow-up questions and because of that back and forth, it is a real reflection of what's going to happen when they get to campus. So we love what we do. We love our interviewers. They've become kind of well-known entities in admissions offices.
They're the Peloton instructors of the admissions world. They become famous.
I love that.
Yeah. So, yeah.
And so I'm imagining you have seen and heard and been a part of a lot of these videos and statements and things.
Yeah.
What advice would you give someone who is just about to step into that world, whether it be virtually or in person, or what kind of things really stand out, do you think?
Well, there is an issue in admissions where people come in and they are over-prepped. Like, they feel like they need to memorize something, they need to have the right answer. I think the first thing we would say is to come to an interview ready to engage, ready to really listen to the question, to maybe think about it a little bit. The student themselves should be asking follow-up questions to understand what they're being asked. It's often not the content of a response, but it's really the exchange that happens, which is really what shows admissions officers that a student is ready to succeed in college.
I would say the same thing, to not contort yourself to what you think people want to hear. And we do have, in addition to our interviews, we do these elevator pitches that U.S. students can include in their college application. 90 seconds, one and done, recorded, and it's just you and the camera. And I think a lot of times people want to say things like, I want to go to this school because this and this and this. Well, a school knows why they are impressive. They don't need you to repeat all those things. But instead what they really want is, what about you? How do you, what's a core value of yours? Tie your story together for me. And so I think the advice is you need to go in not contorting yourself to what you think others want you to be, but really deep down, what do you love? What are you good at? What do you want to contribute? And the admissions officers are going to know what they need and want for their community and see that and hear that immediately without you having to, I love you.
And having those kinds of conversations, obviously we're talking about students and colleges, but here at the convention, I imagine you are having those conversations with the administrators, with the counselors themselves. What kind of feedback are you hearing from them about your product and what they're looking for and what they've been seeing these last couple of years?
I mean, the feedback is that this is the future. I mean, video is coming to admissions.
Yeah.
And the question is, does it work for all students? Can it scale for the admissions process? And I mean, we think we've figured that out, and it's growing fast. It's a way, I mean, students live in this virtual world.
Yeah.
They are presenting themselves virtually. It is a skill that they need to have. And this is a way for them to take that skill that they're developing and then show it as part of the application process.
Yeah, it's a fun medium students are familiar with. I mean, it's TikTok for admissions is what we're calling it.
All the kids are on out with
Yeah,
us.
and I think that a lot of students are finding that this is actually the more compelling way to tell about themselves as opposed to writing. That's a little bit harder. And so I think that's great. We are trying to keep the human process alive. I think we're using technology in a way where we're not eliminating that human process, but we're actually bringing that humanness to the forefront, where the student voice is heard right away versus kind of trying to find the student voice through written materials.
Yeah.
Right, that essay of, here is what makes me unique, that
it's been
I
worked over
crafted
these times.
for weeks on end. I asked my parent, I'm like, Mom, what do you think makes me unique?
Yeah.
Now say it slower.
Yeah.
Right.
And so that that idea of getting to really see the person, I think has to. I think you said you like them, and it's just so much. It's easier to make that connection if I'm like. Oh, I remember your story. I like you as a person. I want you on my campus or as part of my team.
Yeah.
I mean,
So-
go ahead.
I was just going to say, so much of what builds a community are these character qualities of kindness and curiosity. And sometimes when you're so busy writing, that's just not coming out. And it's so simple. It's just so simple. And you can hear it immediately. You can hear it within 10 seconds. And so that's what we're trying to bring to the forefront of the application process. And it's accessible, and that's one thing that we've been really working hard to do. A lot of the students that actually need their voice in the front are first-gen students, students who don't have parents who can help them through the process, children of immigrants, students affiliated with community-based organizations where their counseling resources are scarce, and they actually have an amazing story that needs to be told, and I think this is a really compelling and easy way for them to do it.
And since it is sounding like you have such a wide potential audience out there, what do people need to know if they are interested and they want to know more?
Yeah.
Give me the InitialView elevator pitch of here's what you need to know to find us.
Well, so if you're an international applicant, if you're an international student living in the U.S., maybe you're a homeschool student, maybe you have some really unique background. I mean, the interview is for you. That's an intensive experience. That's going to really help admission officers understand you and feel comfortable that even though you might have a background they don't understand, that, oh, this is someone we could see at our campus. But now, if you're a domestic student, if you're a U.S. student, U.S. high school student,
You just come to initialview.com/elevator pitch and you record 90 seconds. You can actually re-record if you're not happy with the first time. You can send it to your counselor so they can give you feedback. And counselors out there, you should definitely give feedback. Students need to learn how to give the elevator pitch. We're doing this for the rest of our lives. It's not just for admissions, and that's what I love about this product, because it's not, everybody's just trying to figure out how to get in. But the reality is we need skills for our life, and we're doing elevator pitches like this all day long. So you need it when you get to college, when you're looking for that internship, when you are getting that research opportunity, when you're looking for a job. So this is great for counselors. This is a great exercise that you should be doing for self-reflection. For admissions officers, I think just click. It will literally take you seconds to be able to bring something to advocate for the student in committee.
And just teaching the skills of how to sell yourself, which, like you mentioned, you're going to do forever anyway. Get those skills down early.
Right.
Yep. Adults have all of the resources, and so you have to get good selling yourself to adults. And we want these students to grab the resources that they should have coming toward them, and that's what we're hoping to promote with these products.
All right, InitialView. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
thank
what
you.
a great product. Thank you for telling your story, and I'm sure you have more business coming in your future. With
Thank you very
technology
much.
seems to be catching on, this TikTok,
Yes.
YouTube
Yeah.
thing, so sticking around.
Okay. All right. Great.
Thank
you so much.
you.
Thank you both.